Hey guys, it's Luke Johnson from the philosophy teaching app Noetic, and I'm here today to give you some information on two Simone de Beauvoir resources that I recently consumed to help me not only with the course that I'm currently finishing for the Noetic app on Simone de Beauvoir's The Ethics of Ambiguity, but to think of a concern that has come up in my creation of the course on the Noetic app for Simone de Beauvoir. People have been saying to me, like, Luke, we enjoy this particularly philosophical text, this existentialist text that Simone de Beauvoir has done, but we really want you to go into her feminist thought. And I want to do that too. I want to teach and cover everything that I possibly can. The problem with The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir that people want me to put a course together for is that it's a leviathan of a book. It's like 1,000 pages. Or 800 pages, something of that nature. And in order for me to do the fine detail that I like to do for these texts, it would really take me an incredibly long time to put something like that together. Saying all that, I think I've figured out how to do that. But before I can launch into it, I need to get some background information to help me understand what I'm getting myself into by studying The Second Sex. And I found this resource I wanted to let you know about that I thought was particularly good. Something I notice with a lot of lectures on Simone de Beauvoir's The Second Sex is that it sort of takes for granted that that individuals are already familiar and acquainted with this book. I am not. I've never read it. And I found this podcast on the podcasting app on your iPhone called 15-Minute History. And it's episode 83, Simone de Beauvoir and the Second Sex. And the host is Joan Neuberger. She's in the Department of History at UT Austin. And the guest was Judith Coffin, Department of History at UT Austin. And I thought this was really wonderful. Not only did it provide another layer of historical information about Simone de Beauvoir for me, but I thought very effectively and very clearly distilled the main ideas of The Second Sex, and now I feel like a little bit more comfortable wading into that material. So I would highly recommend it. And then the second thing, and this was almost all historical information. You could say that this is possibly a blind spot with the way that I teach. I typically dismiss the historical circumstances of an author and just focus on the words that they've put on the page. Like, I think if they have anything important to say, the words will say it for me. I don't need to go and look up particular dates and what they did when they were 5 and how that and where they went to college. I don't care about any of that. But I'm starting to realize that I should care, because the historical biographical things that happen to an author end up affecting a lot of the philosophies that they articulate. And perhaps if you can understand the historical information, you'll understand their philosophy better. And that's something that is really dawned on me in the second podcast that's on your podcasting app. It's called BBC Radio 4's In Our Time with Melvyn Bragg. Okay, and on this particular episode, he had Christina Howells of Oxford, Margaret Addict of University of Leeds, and Ursula Tidd of University of Manchester. And they all sort of discussed the entire authorship of Simone de Beauvoir, not just The Ethics of Ambiguity and The Second Sex, but even some of her plays and novels and things like that. And I thought it was really wonderful. I don't think they had enough time or really could in that program go into the nitty-gritty details of Simone de Beauvoir's philosophy. But again, the historical information added such a rich layer that now I can see what I'm doing on the Noetic app with the Ethics of Ambiguity class in kind of a new light. I can see that she just wasn't sort of sitting on a porch one day and had these revelations, that these slowly built up as the result of experiences in her childhood, her romantic life, her university life, and what was going on in the world historical situation. And for that reason, I think you should check out BBC Radio 4's In Our Time with Melvyn Bragg. So I'll link both of them below. Check it out, download the Noetic app, and listen to these, and I hope it's a really rich and edifying intellectual experience for you. Thank you.